In this demonstration, we're going to go over how you can do your Pen6 assignment, which is going to be for making a responsive menu using CSS. So first of all, I provided some downloadable files in a zip format. You'll double click that to decompress it. If you're on Windows, you might, depending on your version, you might need to right click and extract. And then it'll give you this folder called Pen6 starter files. So I'm going to go ahead and open that, and let's go over what we've got in here. First of all, if you look inside the images folder, you'll see that we've got some different pictures. One is that same logo type .svg that you used for the last assignment. It doesn't look like anything because it's a white logo type on a white background. And I'll show you an example of what it would look like. And then here's a black menu. It's an SVG. I provided the black menu just in case somebody decided that they wanted to use black instead of white. But this is the white menu. It's the same 3 bars, but it's white on white. In this case, white on transparency, but the background for this this window is white. So those are the picture files that you'll need. And if you were to open this, you see it looks like nothing, and then you get to some information down here. And that's because you've got some SVGs up here at the top. In fact, if we do like what we did before, and I open this in Chrome, and I scroll down, you see that stuff that's there. If I right click anywhere and go to inspect it, just so you can see what we're working with, you could very easily click on the body tag in the inspector, and then just click this little plus symbol right here, and then make a new rule that's just a temporary rule that says background, and then we'll make the background like blue or something. Let's do blue so that we can easily see it. And you can see these icons now a little bit better. Obviously blue is not what we'd want, but here you have it. Okay, so these are the files that we're going to use, and the next thing that I want to do is, let's just go ahead and close this. We don't need that. The next thing that I want to do is I want to open this in brackets. So I'm going to go find brackets. Let's go find that. Open it, and it's going to open up to the last thing that I was looking at, or the last project that I was in. And so this isn't the one that I want. What I want to do is come over here on the left panel and click where the folder name is, and we'll say open folder, and I'm going to designate the folder that's on my desktop called Pen6 starter files, like that. And now I've got a starting place. And then if I double click my index, now you can see that it's in editing mode because it's showing up here in working files. And the thing that that we would need to do is make a style sheet. Right now you'll see that this already has a link here for a style sheet called styles.css, and you see that it's not in any other folder, it's just styles.css. So if we wanted to link that up, then we can go up here and say file new, and we'll save that. Let's do file save, and we'll call it styles.css. And I'm going to make sure to save it in that same folder, Pen6 starter files, so that that link will work. And then now if we wanted to give the body some kind of background color, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and do a couple of setup things. First thing I always want you to do is do the everything element symbol, and we're going to say box sizing. Let's do this, border box, like that. All right, so that's the first thing we'll set up. Second thing that we're going to set up would be the body. And then I'll have to go back and do some stuff with fonts too, but for right now, let's just set the margin up of 0, so we'll collapse that margin. And then just for now, I'm going to do a background color. In fact, I'm going to put the background color first so that it's easy to find whenever we go later to remove it. And let's make it, I guess, beige or something like that. Something that will allow us to see those icons, but that is not too dark, right? And so now if we do a live preview, oh, maybe beige is not dark enough. Here, let's go in, and I will right click and do a quick edit, and let's make it a little bit darker. We'll do it somewhere in this ballpark. It's not a pretty color. Oh, actually, let's do like a light blue kind of there. That'll be a little bit better. It's not quite so awful. Okay, and so now you can actually see the icons so that we can see what it is that we need to do with them. Okay. All right, so the other thing, let's just go ahead and do as part of our setup really fast, is let's go over to Google Fonts for a search really quick. It'll be the first hit. And then we need to go grab a font or two, or however. I'm not going to go crazy on the fonts because that's not the primary focus of what I'm doing, but I do want to grab a Google font. I don't want to just use the default Times New Roman or something. So I want you to get in the habit of doing this as a regular thing. All right, so under search, you know what I'm just going to do? I'm going to use Open Sans. We're just going to stick with that. And so if I hit the plus symbol, I can come down here to my selected family, and I'm not going to bother to customize it. If you wanted, you could, but you could, if you want to add like a semi-bold or a bold, you could do that as well. I'll add a semi-bold. In case you would want to see, and I'll even add light in case you would want to see. I don't know that I'm going to do anything with these, but anyway. And then I'm going to use @import, and so I'm just going to copy the portion. I'm not copying the style tags, just this portion that's @import. So I'll right click that, I'll copy that, jump over here, and at the very top, that's the first thing that'll load is my @import. And then the other thing that I'm going to go back and do is I'm going to use this font family definition. I'll copy that, come back over here, and for my body, I'll go ahead now and I'll set my font up so that I've got my font for the body. We'll also do font size so that it's already set up. As a best practice, you should always do this. We'll start it at the standard 16 pixels. If you wanted to set line height, you could. I'm just going to leave it at this. Okay. The other thing too that you could do is you could say font weight. If you wanted to set up the font weight for the entire page, you could set that. So like if we have 400, you'll see that we've got the weights of 300, 400, and 600. So we could play around and see what all these different things look like. So now that I've got that set up, I can come back over here and I'm going to get out of Google Fonts, and you see that it updated it for me, and it's using Open Sans now. And if you wanted to see what it would look like, say with a 300, so it's a lighter weight, you could do that. Let's come back here. And you know, you might like that better. I don't know, it's kind of up to you. I think I'm just going to stick with 400, the regular size. Okay, all right, so that'll get us started for the very basic setup, and then from this point forward, go ahead and move on to the next video.